Well, good afternoon there, my beautiful thinking people, you. It is quite the day. Let me show you what my view is. Still on the road, still making moves, but something just came across my desk, and I thought it would be a good time for me to stop and let you know what the hang is going on. Yeah, what the hang is going on? Now you have to excuse me. I'm looking very unkempt and a little disheveled. I have, other than a few days of my visiting out west, I have been on the road. So, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, become a member, share us with all your loved ones, co-workers, and friends. Let's beat that algorithm right back down into the dirt it came from. Okay, folks, this is a straight-in-your-face situation once again. And I know I come up with a lot of straight-in-your-face stuff. And unfortunately, somebody has to. Somebody has to. And the reason they have to is because we're not getting through. Those of us that are out there pounding the pavement, shouting from the rooftops, dropping leaflets all over your front yard, backyard, in through your windows, we're not getting through. Not to the vast majority. So, I am trying once again to get through to you. Our world is under attack. I don't know what you think that means. I'm not talking about aliens who you're never going to actually see face to face, that are just going to fly over top and zap us all to death. If we get zapped, let me tell you, it ain't aliens. It's our own governments. Okay? They've been developing laser weapons forever. They just haven't been able to develop them really well until recently. So, if we get zapped, don't look for aliens. And if you do see an alien, it's probably a projected image on the clouds. Okay? And I'm not joking. So this is what I want to get through to you, and get through to you now. Because if I don't get through to you guys now, we may not have enough time to turn this boat around. Remember the Titanic? They saw the iceberg. They sounded the alarm. They did everything possible. And they still slammed into it because it was too late. It was too late. They had to act long before that, because turning around a huge ship that's heading towards an iceberg takes a lot of work. Start the work now, folks. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, let me tell you. Willingly, let me tell you. And I hope you're willing to listen. Excuse me. We have a world that's falling apart, and I know everybody sits around, they watch the news, and they think, it's entertainment. It'll never happen. Nothing's going to go wrong. Well, many years ago, I tried to tell everybody what I saw happening. I tried to tell everybody that I saw a revolution in our midst. I tried to tell everybody that certain big country is going to end up with nothing left that they produce, and that the only thing they were going to be able to be would be the world's police. That means they would go around the world killing people for their contribution to the earth. I predicted that. And no, I'm not talking about all the little wars that have been going on for years now. These were just the precursors to these people building themselves up as the world's police. Now, let me go a little deeper into those weeds. We have a world of all kinds of conflicting views and ideas. And instead of people discussing those conflicting views and ideas with each other and coming to some adult conclusions, our adults are becoming the problem. I don't want to talk about that. What do I want to talk about that for? This garbage stuff. Well, I don't know. I know, not all women sound like that. Not all men sound like that. But I can tell you, In my ears, that's all I'm hearing is a bunch of whining pussies who are unwilling to look controversy straight in the face. And yes, I said it before, I totally understand. You want your life to be calm, cool, pleasant, pristine. You don't want any controversy. You don't want to discuss controversy. You want everything to be nice. Well, guess what? It's not going to be nice unless you make it nice. And you making it nice doesn't mean that you have to hide from every controversy that comes up as if it doesn't exist, because it doesn't make it go away. You think what's going on right now in the Middle East, in Russia, Ukraine, in Israel, in Gaza, in Lebanon, in Syria, in Iran, in Iraq, it's almost hard to mention a country's name without attaching some sort of conflict to it. Who created those conflicts? Do you think it was those people? Do you think that Russia and Ukraine created this conflict? Do you think Israel and the Palestinians created the conflict? No. It took others to push these people towards each other. Do you remember when you were in school? Do you remember when there was a kid there in the middle of a group and everybody wanted him beat up, but nobody would make the first move, and somebody in the crowd would just push one of the wildest kids towards that child, and then they would smack together and here would go the fight? Do you remember that? Yeah, the two kids never really wanted to fight. They just wanted to posture, stick their chest out and go, I'm tougher than you, and if you make a move, I'm going to take you down. And the other guy's telling you the same thing. Buddy, you try to take me down, and I got all the tools to take you out. Yeah, they kept doing this. Jawing. Circling each other. Jawing. And if anybody, and don't ask me how I know, but I know, anybody in that crowd steps up, walks into the middle and says, guys, girls, whatever, this is not going to get you anywhere. This is just a problem waiting to happen. The things that are going to occur if you guys let this go is not going to be nice. So stop now while you can, go your ways, and one of these days sit down and discuss it. Get your problems out. They do the whatever, and they walk away. Yeah, that's right, that was me. I did that every chance I got. I could not stand people fighting each other. There's no reason to physically harm each other. There should never be. By the same token, I was the worst one of them all because I used to beat up all the bullies. Even though I knew it was wrong to fix things with violence, I guess it's because it was just me. Well, it was me and Sonny, and then it was just me. We've been through so many things together, me and Sonny. We tried to stop all the bullies from hurting little kids, from hurting their girlfriends, from beating up the animals in the neighborhood. Anyways, we did a great job. A lot of times it was just me. Like, I would go to schools and I would have girls crying on my shoulder that these guys are spitting on them and doing all kinds of nasty things. And then I would leave, but on leaving I'd say, listen, anybody comes and tries to bother you again, you tell them you're my girlfriend. And if they mess with you, I'm coming for them. And some of these guys thought they were tough enough to just basically do what they want. They disregarded me as if I was nobody. And I went out there and took care of it. Well, guess what? There are people bullying some people right now. And they are all getting fed up. What did they tell you when you were young? What, that bully? Oh, you tell that bully that if he doesn't stop, your mother's coming to get him. Nah, the guy laughs, whatever. Then dad comes home and says, listen, you guys, you stick together. That bully steps up to one of you, you all jump him. He'll never do it again. Dad was right. And that doesn't mean that it's right to go and jump these people. But what it means is this. Sometimes they won't listen to reason. You have to get together and stop them from bullying. I bet you don't even know who the bullies are. I bet you think the bullies are some of the countries that I just named, right? Be honest with yourself. Put it in the comments. Do you believe that the people I'm talking about, the bullies, are among the names that I mentioned when I first started this video? So let me move on. So you knew how to take care of a bully by gathering together and stop the bully from doing what they're doing. I bet you will agree with me that none of you made that move. The bully came and you all just scattered. The bully came and you all just put your head down and acted like he wasn't even there or she wasn't even there. And then she would pick on somebody else and you'd all just look the other way, terrified, because you didn't want to start anything with you because you didn't believe that the other people were going to back you up either. Why? Because you're projecting yourself. Because you wouldn't lift a finger to protect the other person, so they weren't going to lift a finger to protect you. So now it's time for your revolution. Now it's time for you guys to get together and stand up. Seriously, you got to stand up, but you also have to be a standout. That means you have to stick to your guns. And I'm not talking about physically bullying anybody. You guys have to get rid of all of these politicians. They must all be voted out. You must shrink the government to the point where it can be manageable. You have to make the government accountable to you, your family, and your friends. That's what they were supposed to be right from the beginning. Remember? Government of the people, by the people, for the people. When's the last time you really saw a government like that? So listen, folks, I'm telling you, if you don't start to act now and get the momentum rolling, it's going to be too late. And when it's too late, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. There are certain countries in this world right now who have it written in their constitution or in their statement of facts or in their edict for the future that if they ever feel like they are about to go down, they're going to launch all-out nuclear war. They don't care that the whole world will cease to exist. They don't care. They don't care. And you people who think you're rich and you bought bunkers, you had these bunkers dug out for you and supplied with food and water and all kinds of systems that were going to protect you in the case of a big fallout. Go and find out from the people that built it for you how long you're going to be able to survive in that bunker. And then I want you to go and find out how long you think the world will be toxic and impossible to live on after this fallout. Do your research. Stop walking around with your head in the clouds like you think everything's going to be just fine. It's not going to be fine. I know this is heavy. I'm pushing it down your throat, but I'm telling you, time is running out. You can collect all the bottled water you want. It ain't going to last. Collect all the food you want, canned and otherwise. It ain't going to last. It ain't gonna last. How are you gonna grow food on toxic soil? Yeah, there are some things that will grow in a toxic environment, and hopefully will purify the toxins so that when you eat those plants, you're not gonna die as a result. Yeah, I'm sure there are some. Where are you gonna plant them? when the whole world is just pretty well dug up. Do you know how many nuclear bombs are out there? Let me see. I think the sixth place holder of nuclear warheads is over 500 of them. How much damage do you think 500 can do? I can name you right off the bat 2 more countries that have well over 5,000 of them. So between those 2 countries, how much damage do you think they can do? Then there are other big ones too. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. They have been pumping out these nuclear weapons like you wouldn't believe, in the hopes that nobody would ever want to attack them, because we all know it would be Armageddon. It would be the end of our world. But there are some who don't care. Those are the most dangerous people in the world. They don't care. They have no deterrent. The only deterrent they have is peace. If you give them peace, well, one of them anyway, if you give them peace, they would be content just to live out that peace. And then there's others that I don't even think peace would help them. Folks, we have to change the system that we've created. The system we've created is the government that controls us. They don't work for us. I don't know if you've noticed that yet. They do not work for us. Did you ever see a union that worked for you? Yeah, way back in the day they used to. Not anymore. Now they're just another political party who are doing their best to enrich themselves and build a huge, huge honeypot. Folks, please, open your eyes. Open your eyes. You cannot keep walking around like this as if nothing's happening. It's happening. And it's unfolding right in front of your eyes, and you're not even looking at it. I don't want to watch that. It's too negative. I have anxiety. I don't feel like it's something that I should be involved in. Let the politicians handle it. That's what we pay them for. No. The little piddly money that you pay them, that we think is such a big salary, is peanuts to them. They're making their money outside of what we pay them. Outside of that. They're getting passed money under the tables, gifts, trips, planes, trains, whatever they want, they're getting it. You think the little salary that we vote them, or they vote themselves actually now, they vote themselves raises whenever they want. Even when the rest of the government employees are scraping to put food on the table. Listen, this is a very, very heavy negative message. But I'm telling you folks, if you don't start doing something, listen, I don't have long to be here on this earth. I don't have long. What do they say? I am not long of this earth. And that's a true statement. But what about you? What about your children? What about your grandchildren? Your great-grandchildren? What about all of them? What is going to become of them if you've done nothing to pave the way for them to have a good life? I know some of you are going, well, I had a good life. You know what? It's up to them. I know people that say that too. Oh, I made all this money myself. I'm not leaving it to my kids. Are you crazy? They didn't work for it. They're not supposed to have had to work for it. You built your little empire for your family and their future. Some of you, not so much. Some of you, it's all about you. I've heard some of you say, I'll spend all my shit before I die. I'm like, wow. What a message. What a message to have to carry around with you everywhere you go. Like every time you pass a mirror, you're looking at yourself. And you know, that came out of you. That crap came out of you. How do you feel when you see babies being torn to bits? Do you just turn and look the other way and say, well, it's not my baby? Not from my family? Or does something hit you right in here? You may be seeing it opposite because it's a mirror image sometimes, but I'm pointing to my left side, slightly left of center. Does it hit you in there? If it hits you in there, all the more your own children and grandchildren should be hitting you in there. Please stand up. Please start doing something. Folks, make a change, right? Remember Michael Jackson? Oh, I know, yeah, he's a pedophile, he's this, he's that, he's all kinds of horrible things. However, apparently we find out that he was chemically castrated as a baby so that he could always keep that beautiful high voice of his. Yeah, maybe he wasn't such a pedophile after all, right? But you know what he was? He was a voice for peace and reason. He was a voice who constantly tried to say, look at the man in the mirror. Look at yourself. He used to say, we are the world. He was always trying to promote togetherness, bonding together, uniting, doing the right things. Hey, you know what? The powers that be that want you to be hateful and nasty and disturbed, they're never going to tell you that, you know what? Maybe we should listen to Michael Jackson. No, they're not. What they're going to do is they're going to vilify anybody who tries to unite you. They're going to vilify anybody who wants to lead you to a positive area. Folks, this is getting to be a lecture, and I'm sick of them. I'm really sick of giving them. I've been giving them my whole life, hoping that people would realize the truth of the world, hoping that people would realize that peace is better than war, hoping people would realize that hurting each other doesn't get you anywhere or anything. And you know what?
In 2 kilometers, turn left onto Trans-Canada Highway.
Exactly what she said. Turn away from the garbage. Turn left towards Trans-Canada Highway. I don't care. Just turn. Get away from what's going on right now. We have a better future ahead of us if we take control now. Look at the debt our countries are in. And they produce nothing. How can you believe these idiots when they tell you it's going to be okay? It can't be okay. We can't pay the debts. We don't produce anything. If you don't produce anything, you can't change the deficit of trade. You can't sell it for money in order to pay off your debt. Please, folks, wake up. Wake up. They made a word for you, woke, so you could walk around and feel like you're all great and cool, and you're woke, which means you're brilliant. You know what you're doing. Nobody can tell you different. Everything you do is perfectly fine. No, you need to be awake. Woke is giving you nothing except hatred of other people around you. You use your wokeism just to hate other people. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna sign on for that kind of garbage. I'm not gonna go around hating a whole whack of people because I'm woke. I am awake, and I see what's going on around me, and I'm trying to give you the message, folks. I'm seriously trying to give you the message. Remember? We never give up. We never give in, but we keep an open mind. Because that's the only way we gather our knowledge. And knowledge is the only power we'll ever have. The knowledge of what I'm telling you right now, do some research. You're going to reinforce your knowledge base, and you're going to be able to help to make a good decision for the future. You're going to help to change what's going on, the dynamics. Let me just give you a small anecdotal evidence of something. You remember in school when you had cliques? You're real tight, hey, you know? Yeah, we bros, eh? Hey, we girls, eh? Yeah, we all that and a bag of chips and some, then some. But guess what? Somebody else thought you guys were really cool. And they came up and said, hey girls, hey guys. Do you think I could join your group and maybe we can have fun together? And maybe I can play with you guys at recess, or maybe we can go out for lunch together. And what did those groups do? They shunned that individual. They thought their approach made them weak. But the real strength was in that person who had the ability to come up to you and say, hey, why don't we quash any quarrels we have and become friends? And if you keep pushing that person away, guess what? Eventually, they go, okay. All right, I'll go away. Now we're enemies. You didn't know how strong I was. But believe me, I'm extremely strong. We'll see what happens when a confrontation results. And right now, it's coming. Folks, listen. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And above all, stay as happy as humanly possible. I love you all, and I want there to be some positive change for you and those you love. That's my wish for you. Okay? Till next time. Bye-bye for now.